by myself. These I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself, yeah.
Time to bring the bass bird.
Sir, I'm going big like a lineman. She want bring the limes in. She wanna pull up to the crib, we can't dine in. Up right away, couldn't even get a vine in. Straight with the money we aligned in. Tell me how they broke, tryna chime in. Jesus watching over here in diamonds. He the only reason why I do not get violent. Ay, cause he gave me patience. Ay, swear that all makes sense. Ay, when you making bands can make friends. Cause I know they tryna shit like Ray Bans. Got a bad little shorty wasting. And I own it, I ain't got
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Ready? 10 2 stop. Get that quarterback.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down.
Second and 10 at the 25-yard line.
An incomplete pass leads to second and 10 from the 25.
General West.
You got tight right there. Checked up team.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, second and 10. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
at the 29-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Tighten up, tighten up. Pull it together. 53's the mark. 53, check 53.
2nd and 6. Complete. Smith has it. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Back to throw. Fields. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. It's a foot race. The 30. 10, 5, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now get that man an oxygen tent.
That's your boy Old Mo. You said momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Off play action. Fields rolling to his, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Ready. Touchdown. 66. All day, dog. Check your hot read.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Fields. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. 2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates are going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. We'll see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the Vikings 4-yard line.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal.
20.
Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Oh, boy, I know you felt that one. I know you felt that one.
Can this Vikings D hold up one more time? 3rd and goal.
Gun.
Check nickel. Slant.
I get it.
They'll run it with Johnson, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stop that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
First and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. Right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Credit to tackle that time to Deshaun Hand. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields eluding the pressure right. And he's going to keep it here. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
Let's go now. 3, 6 yards. Mike. All day, baby, all day.
From the gun on 3rd down. Fields got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he goes out right around the 39. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
Pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
They'll try and throw for it here. And this is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
All day, just like that. Just like that. Tight dog. Check. Crunch. Check 3. Check 50.
Here's Newton. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. He got 29 yards that time. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
We got 8. Watch out.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. They stopped short. Down at the 1. Had the great move, but couldn't get it all the way home. A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be 2nd and goal. 10-0 to score after 1 on EA Sports. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? Trying to punch it in with Eckler. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. taking it in from a yard out. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25.
53. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you back.
They start the drive with Cook. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance. On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now, because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Mike 5-5, Mike 55, Mike 5-5.
To throw on third down. Fields. He's going to loft one deep. And this will be caught at the 30. And all the way down to the 29. A big play there for Minnesota. 44 yards. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
I'm letting you know right now, you better bring.
Operating from the gun. Fields. Flush to his right. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for. And that'll bring up second down. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Mike 21, check Mike 21. Get this worm on.
On third down, Fields. The open man is Smith. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 13-yard line.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
They'll run on first down. It's Cook. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. A toss to Cook. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. The Vikings on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. Fields. And he's got it. So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
So obviously more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
So the ball's moved to about the 1. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook taking it in as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point right down the middle, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Buying time to his left. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On 2nd down, Eckler. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw is Newton. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. First down Lions on a pickup of 13. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Newton to throw. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go deep over the... Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And mark him down all the way inside the Minnesota 10. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the... Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. He's at the 50, 30, the 20, 10. And they will finally put an end to the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line.
I know many talk about the kick return as maybe the most exciting play in football, but any type of a return where it's a change of possession, where the defense gets the ball, that's exciting too, but it's not just an accident. Once they get the football, they've worked on finding people to block, creating running lanes for the guy with the ball, and protecting him, and this one was a long run.
Absolutely, they did all of that and more. Now Eckler. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
And the set. Right to the 3. Check my 50. Hey, man. Red Green. Watch the beat. Mike, express. I'm coming.
From the gun, here's Newton. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Throwing again. Fields. Flushed out right. Now he's going to let it go deep right side. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, Fields, and that's caught by Smith. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Mike, 53.
Throwing on first down. Fields. Escaping the pressure right. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. On first down, Fields. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls, and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw again, Fields. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Dancing to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep back over the middle. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Back to throw. Fields. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
53 is the mic. Army. Let's go.
Looking to throw. Fields. And this is Cook with the grab. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Come on, switch it.
Back to throw. Fields eluding the pressure right. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They're going to try and throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 44. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it.
A throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Set, hut, go to base. Check back 21. Let's go, deep hut.
Looking to throw. Fields. That's into the hands of Edwards. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Fields. And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 44 and to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Running on first down, Eckler. He's got the first down here inside the 30. Touchdown, Detroit. Austin Eckler, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Cam Newton now getting his guys ready to go for the two-point try. And before they can get the play off, here's a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball. That's their first of this second half. Cam Newton now getting his guys ready to go for the two-point try. A shotgun snap for Newton. Flush to his right. He'll run it. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. The throw over the middle taken in. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Off the play fake. Fields got his man complete over the middle. That's Edwards. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
First and 10 at the 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10.
You got nothing to get.
Operating from the gun. Fields. Open man is Higgins. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. On first and 10, Fields flushed out right. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Robbie Anderson there to make the grab. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Point after try forthcoming. And they're able to cut the deficit to 12. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Looking deep downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Back to throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Ready? Ready? Here we go. 20. Watch the shot. Kill. Gun. 55. Ready?
On first down, it's Newton. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Check.
Throwing again. Newton. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield and try and hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback. If he was going to his left, a little bit tougher.
Exactly.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. To throw again. Fields. And my goodness, another interception. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They started on the ground with Eckler. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. On first down, Newton. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
First down, Lions.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Out of the gun, Newton. Looking middle, and that's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
8, go, express!
Here's Eckler. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Austin Eckler with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to fire one. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one good for 37 yards. Looking to throw. Fields. And now here is another interception. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Now that turnover might just about do it here. Fourth quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
Exactly right. They played smart, a couple of first downs, and this one should just about be over.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back.
Come on, set, 50, plant. Protein spill.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Uncorks one for Davis. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
On the set.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Second and 10. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. The Lions on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Hey, box drop. Let's go.
They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. Here now, Johnny Townsend. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field. Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. On second down, it's Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it third down. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. They'll roll him out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. On fourth down, Fields escaping the pressure right. It's caught, Smith. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game. Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game. Back to throw. Fields. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he? And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Will Harris. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback. With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride. Some people like to do that. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Romeo Okwara. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Looking to throw. Fields. Now a desperate. He's got a man. Complete. It's a gain of 34. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. From the gun, Fields. He'll dump this off to Cook. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make this a 2nd down. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it? Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason? Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1. Oh, you're trying to say real football. Yeah, real football. Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle. Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason, but now I'm listening to you. So for Detroit, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want to. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew. So I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel get a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me. Baby, I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off, each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. Okay. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked, it's nothing new. Okay. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. Hey. I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull out. Hat on and hood on. Pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket. No change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but